Architecture is the art and science of making sure that our cities and buildings actually fit with the way we want to live our lives. The process of manifesting our society into our physical world. Life is always evolving, and as life evolves, so should our cities and buildings, so they fit with the way we want to live. And I think maybe in the really big picture, life on planet Earth has evolved in a Darwinian sense through millions of years by adapting to the surroundings. So different life forms would evolve attributes that would allow them to occupy different eco-niches. So life always adapted to the physical environment. When we invented technology, tools, architecture, we reversed that situation and we started actually adapting our physical environment to life. So rather than living in a tree or living in a cave, we could build our own tree, we could build our own cave. We got the possibility and the responsibility to shape the world around life, rather than life being shaped by the world. And I think in that sense it's an amazing power and an amazing responsibility to be in charge of creating the world we want to live in. So as human beings, we don't have to accept the world as it is. We can actually create the world of our dreams. Creating an office is also very much like an evolutionary process. It's an evolutionary process because as the office evolves, your role is constantly changing. So I think every 3 months I realize that I can no longer do what I did 3 months ago. I have to do things differently because the project has, the office has evolved, and my role in it is constantly evolving. I think one of the important things about creating an office is that you have the opportunity and the responsibility to create the work environment that you would like to work in. Because if you're working for someone else, then you might have to put up with a certain culture or way of speaking to each other that you endure because you want the job, but it's actually not the way you would want to be at your work. So when you create your own office, you have the responsibility to set the tone and establish the culture, establish the way that people talk to each other, the way that people collaborate, the way that they help each other, the way they ask for favors, or the way they give out favors to their colleagues. So I think establishing the culture and the environment is incredibly important. Also, you're going to be spending a lot of time in your office. So if you don't enjoy it, it's going to be hell. I've always been very conscious that what I like doing and where I think my skills are the strongest, and I've tried to establish an office that allows me to always have my dream job. When we won our first commission, a swimming pool, the circular swimming pool, I didn't have the experience to be the project leader of a construction project, and I wanted to be the project designer, and I also wanted to keep doing competitions to expand the office. So we hired a guy called Bjarke, who is now one of my partners in the Copenhagen office, and he's 10 years older than me, so he was the project leader for that project. So even though I was his boss, I was working as a designer in his team, where he was responsible for making the project. In a way, even though traditionally you might have said, okay, this is my office, now I'm going to be the project leader. I actually knew that I didn't want to be the project leader. I wanted to be the project designer. So I hired someone with more experience than me to fulfill a role that I wasn't mature enough and actually wasn't that interested in to take that role. Like in the end, I'm left with having the job that I do the best, and I constantly create positions, or also like help people create their own positions to make sure that the office really becomes more and more like an organism where everybody has their favorite role in that organism. Just like in science, architecture is really like a hypothetical deductive experimentation, that you use your thinking to analyze and suggest and do build up a conceptual framework. And then when you can't reach any higher, you can make an intuitive jump. You can make a guess, you can suggest things, and you can test them. But the higher you've built before you jump, the higher you can reach.